Welcome to Gyaniketan Girls School. Hello students, I am Arti Sharan. In my previous videos, I dealt with summary and explanation of marshlands. In this video, I am going to deal with the questions and answers of marshlands written by Emily Pauline Johnson. Here is the poem Marshlands. A thin wet sky that yellows at the rim and meets with sun-lost lip the marshes brim. The pools low-lying, dank with moss and mold, glint through their mildews like large cups of gold. Among the wild rice in the still lagoon, in monotone, the lizard shrills his tune. The wild goose, homing, seeks a sheltering where rushes grow and oozing lichens cling. Late cranes with heavy wing and lazy flight sail up the silence with the nearing night, and like a spirit swathed in some soft veil, steals twilight and its shadows over the swale. Hushed lie the sedges, and the vapors creep, thick, grey, and humid, while the marshes sleep. Now, understanding the poem, in this, several questions are given with answers. The first question is, the speaker refers to the edge of the sky as its lip. Why has she described the lip as sun-lost? How has it lost the sun? The answer is, Marshlands by Emily Pauline Johnson portrays a pristine picture of marshlands untouched by the human activities. Silence characterizes the marshlands, making the imagery more vivid. The first stanza describes the sky that is looking down at the marshes. The lip is sun-lost because the sun has almost vanished from the sky. It is cloudy with an impending storm. The second part of the first question is, what does the sun-lost lip meeting the brim of the marsh look like? The answer is, the thin wet sky yellows at the rim when the sun-lost lip touches the brim. The poet here is talking about the horizon, which is reflecting some sunlight in contrast to the overcast sky above the marshlands. Question number 2 is, what is the marsh look like? Large cups of gold. What in the marsh look like large cups of gold? Can you explain why they have been described like that? Answer is, the low-lying pools of mud in the swamps are filled with moss and mold. They look like large cups of gold. And there are mildews growing in these low-lying pools. The waning sunlight reflects in these pools, making them resemble like large cups of gold. Question number 3 is, why has the wild goose come to the marsh? Where is it going? The answer is, the wild goose has come to the marsh looking for shelter for the night. The goose knows that somewhere amongst the rushes and oozing lichens it can find its home. Question number 4 is, which words from the poem tell us how big the crane is and how fast it is flying? Answer is, the words heavy wing tell us that the crane is quite big. Its flight has been described as lazy. This means that the crane was probably not flying very fast. Question number 5 is, how is the fog that comes over the marshes described? Do we know what time of day it is when the fog arrives? The answer is, the fog that comes over the marshes has been described as thick, grey and humid. It is almost night when the fog creeps up around the marshes. We can deduce this from the phrase, while the marshes sleep. Question number 6 is, the poem describes what the marshes are like during a shift in time in the day. What shift is this? The answer is, the poem describes the appearance of the marshlands during sunset, and this shift is from sunset to darkness or to night. Question number 7 is, what breaks the silence of the marshlands? What do you think is the effect of one lone sound in the expanding stillness of the marshes? The answer is, in a nagging monotony, the lizard shrills his tune from among the marshlands. This tune breaks the silence of the swamps. The effect of one lone sound in the infinity of a stillness makes the impact of silence profound. It, in fact, magnifies the silence and eventually gets engulfed by it. Question number 8 is, have the marshlands changed from the first stanza to the last? Compare how different they look and feel. The answer is, the transformation of the marshlands takes place in a short time span between sunset and nightfall. The poet has experimented with the colors of the marshlands, which turn from yellow to golden and finally to shadowy grey when fog enshrouds the wetlands at night. So, I have given you all the question answers of marshlands. Thank you.